Spacey Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria, and we're in Jack's route. I almost said Lupin's route because Lupin's on the screen here. Ta-da! Not his face, obviously his name. And I was reading, I saw that before I started recording. Wow. Anyway, we're in Jack's route, and we're picking up where we left off in the library. The library with Lupin. Yay! I still love nerdy, weird, awkward Lupin. The best. Not his douchebag self. I like the nerdy version. But anyway, we'll see how this goes since now we know that Jack is Jack the Ripper, and that just. I still think that someone else is murdering all the prostitutes. Still doesn't mean he's not a murderer because we did see him murder someone, so he is. So I'm just really curious how the fuck she's gonna just be accepting of this. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you really love someone and they turn out to be a murderer, it's like, well, this sucks. I don't know what to do. But I don't. Okay. I've never been in that situation. I kind of hope I never am in that situation to, find out how that works. But okay. Anyway. No. Whoa. Why? Every time I start my freaking tablet to have my guide up, it's always like, we got an update for you. Go fuck yourself. I don't want an update. Anyway. In the library of Harrington Academy, Lupin and I had grown very comfortable reading through all the books we could get our hands on. If I was limited to experiencing the East End through the eyes of others, then I was grateful to the many who chose to pen their research and lives. We gathered as many books on the East End as we could before reading certain passages aloud to each other. Okay, I was like, can you would make sure the sound was working. The Industrial Revolution brought about great prosperity and modernization to Great Britain. That's so not his voice, right? I don't know, anyway. Subways began to run as a popular form of underground transit in London, transporting its more than 3 million citizens from destination to destination within the city. Whilst new inventions created a number of conveniences for the modern man, it also split society into two distinct classes: the wealthy and working, and the former working class who were plunged into poverty. This shift happened at the same time Jewish immigrants flooded into England from the continent in hopes of escaping massacres. This boom in technology and thus job opportunities saw laborers making their way from rural areas in the north to London to find work, adding more to the city's increasing population. Lupin does good for me when I'm trying to do a voice and tripping over words. It works for Lupin really well. Anyway, with more people looking for work than there were positions available, stability in both employment and housing buckled to a fine point, forming what we know as the crime-infested and odorous slums of the East End. London's West End became reserved for the fortunate, with an ever-changing rich culture to populate its mansions. The East End, meanwhile, restored by necessity to publicly owned abattoirs and meat factories, became a prime cornerstone for the impoverished. The pork and beef that feeds the comfortable are produced in mass quantities every day by those who can barely afford to have them on their plates. It's really fucking sad. Furthermore, the knackeries for the horses which pull London's carriages and taxicabs exist in large numbers there. The smell of death and blood hangs in the air as a permanent fixture. The total population has been estimated to be 200,000, the majority of which live in terraced homes, commonly with entire or even several families crowded together under a single roof. Those unable to find regular work are left to clearing away rubbish, general cleaning, or doing any odd jobs as they move between doss houses with what little money they manage to pocket. It's so awful. It is, and yet there are 10,000 people who live by even worse standards. They're the very bottom of society. Poor little Lupin looks so sad. He's like, why'd you make me read this, Spacey? I don't know, Lupin, I don't know. They clothe themselves in unwashed rags. Many walk the streets with their feet bare, unable to afford a pair of shoes. With no means of an honest, stable living, they wander the streets begging for coin, committing thefts and whatever else they can do to survive, murdering people because their dad tells them to because they just want someone to love them. This is to kind of, all of of this is to make you be like, I just feel so bad for poor Jack, and we just need to take care of the poor thing. I mean, but literally, we were going to feel bad for him anyway. And it's not all this, but it's the fact that, like, whatever, he's doing all this stuff because the person who raised him kind of enforced it on him. And he, you know what I mean? Like, we already knew we were going to feel bad for him, okay? We already knew. We were like, you are setting us up to sit there and go, oh, you made this poor little kid. You took him from the work. Like, I'll give you a home, but you have to murder people for me, kid. Oh, poor thing's been conditioned from a young age. Anyway. The ones who manage to endure the hunger pangs and complete a day's worth of manual labor can hope for, at most, just enough food to fill their stomach. They don't have anywhere to call home. All this has led to the area transforming into a hub for corruption. Gangs of criminal activity now flourish. Power here is not for the good man to manage, but for the monster to take. Explains Jack's life right there. A monster! Not Jack, the person who, his quote-unquote dad. They'll do anything for money. Pickpocketing, larceny, mugging, and even murder. Murder? I knew it was going to be murder, but I wasn't intending to read it like that. I was kind of hoping it was Lupin, so I could be like, and even murder. What? Nothing? I mean, nothing? Slips into suave Lupin. Indeed. Time they don't spend on crime, they spend fighting amongst one another for the profits produced by the East End. It's terrible in every regard. He's so precious. I know we're in Jack's route, but I love our nerdy little Lupin. Oh, I love our awkward nerd so much. In a sense, the women murdered during this case are victims of more than their killer. They were victims of London's industrial revolution and mass consumerism as a whole. Lupin. If I may, Lupin, did you ever find it difficult being friendly with Jack? I was timid with the question, which may have unnerved him more than if I were straightforward. Yes. What? No, I wouldn't go that far. I was blessed with a good family, and the chance to attend this academy and friends as well. I'm also really good at faking being awkward and tripping, and I'm really good at stealing shit. What? Nothing. I didn't say anything. Jack is from the East End, but in a certain way, he's fortunate to be attending here. There aren't many born there who ever see to a proper education in their lifetime. And that makes Jack something of an outsider, both here and in the East End. To think that wherever he goes, he's treated the same. I wonder if being too pitiful or too fortunate is all the same to him. That's sad. It's possible, yes. Lupin appeared sad at the thought, but his eyes never left the page he was occupied with, so I continued with my own research. Soon after, I happened to find one name in particular that stood out from the rest. Henry Millers. Haven't I heard this name before? Millers? Oh my god, how are you that fucking stupid? Okay. Like, it's one thing to be like, haven't I heard Henry Millers before? Jack, his last name Miller was Henry. Henry is his dad's name. I mean, Jesus. It's not like, I get it. Haven't I heard this name before? Smith? Huh, maybe. Yes! Millers is like fucking Smith. It's pretty fucking common. Well, but you know what I mean? And not only that, you should be able to know, like, haven't I heard the name Watson before? Where have I fucking heard that? She's like, you know what Jack's last name is. It'd be one thing if Jack's last name was something else, and then you were like, Smith. I heard of a Henry Smith. Oh, that's Jack's adopted dad. But like, Millers. I don't know. And Jack sounds familiar too, but why? Why? Like, oh, come on. It's one thing if she's like, Henry Millers, huh? Because, like, she read it quick and maybe you weren't thinking about it. You know what I mean? And it kind of just pops in the back of your mind. It's not like, but like Millers, you shouldn't be pondering that. You know what Jack's last name is. Ugh, it's frustrating. The document I had in hand appeared to be a directory of some sort. Benefactor to the workhouses of London, and a ray of light to the orphans of the East End. Oh my god! It's fucking Black Butler up in here. Oh, we're in Book of Circus, yo! Oh god.
I'm sorry, I can tie everything to Black Butler somehow. I don't know how. But this also is just giving me Book of Circus flashbacks. If you haven't watched it, you really should. It's the best fucking season. Oh, so great. Anyway, my heart sparked in a way that said I had found something of value, and with glowing earnest, I read on. Except for, I don't think Henry Miller's is running a circus. He's just having Jack out there murdering people. Okay. Well, I mean, there's... it's kind of funny, too.
What is it, Miss Whitley? Did you find something? I did. It's this Henry Miller's here. That must be Jack's father.
See, Lupin's fucking smarter than us. Why?
The one who adopted him when he was a child. I don't know much about him other than bits and pieces here and there. He's known for taking children from the workhouses and granting them an education if they have the aptitude for it. Or so I've heard.
Is that so? I should write this down then, just in case. I scribbled out everything of importance in mind quickly so I could move on to the next passage, though I was sure to do so neatly. Yeah, Pendleton would be so mad if he read my diary and saw that I had messy penmanship while taking notes. You know he fucking does. Jack is certainly fortunate to be able to attend the academy. For the other children in the East End, all they can pray for is any job they find that may help them live another day. What sort of suffering did that entail? How lonely was it? I couldn't even imagine the wait, and trying was enough to frighten me.
Miss Whitley, may I ask you something?
What is it, Lupin?
It's about the culprit in the Whitechapel murders.
And then it's been on your mind, too?
As a detective, of course. I should hope I'm interested. You can't turn a corner without hearing some new theory being whispered about. A poor person, someone killing for sport, a man revenging upon prostitutes. And then there are those who suspect Jack. You're his schoolmate.
Oh, this is like... They're awkward Lupin, and this is like slightly debonair Lupin under the glasses. You're his schoolmate, but what do you think as a fellow budding detective? Wait, Lupin, where'd that voice come from? I just love how all of a sudden he gets this determined. This is so un-Lupin-like. You're like, wait a minute, you're a little, and then he goes back to being awkward, and you're like, that was weird.
You're his schoolmate, but what do you think as a fellow budding detective?
He watched me closely as if to observe and counter my hesitations were I to answer falsely. I thought sternly to myself before answering. I'm really curious with the voice acting. If he has any kind of difference in his voice or he talks the same. Because I feel like you can't. You can't be like awkward Lupin and have the same voice. Like, what do you think is... I'm stuttering. Oh, scared. And then, hi, how are you? You know what I mean? Like, you can't. So I'm just really curious how it played out, but we'll never know because I don't know if I'm going to go back and do any of the voice acting stuff in this one because I don't think you can just listen to it. I think we'd have to go back and play scenes, but I mean, maybe. I'll think about it. I don't know. We'll see. We should have done that with the epilogues. Should have waited and done all the epilogues at the end, but whatever. Too late. Is he Jack the Ripper? I suppose Jack couldn't be him. That's exactly what we're supposed to answer. And also, we should, because we love him, so. It's not him. Jack the Ripper is not Jack Miller's. That's what I think. I know I saw him murder someone, but I don't think he's the one murdering prostitutes. And I 100% believe that. I think that's the case, so.
That's lovely. I think that, too. Still, why do you think that?
Because I fucking love him, Lupin. Shut up. Well, because I believe in him. He simply isn't a man who would do something so awful. He'd kill men, of course, but not women.
Oh, of course. Pardon me for asking. Certainly, Jack must have grown content to face the ugliest parts of this city.
It can be ugly, yes.
Or more accurately, I suppose, it's that he's never been given the freedom to see how beautiful it is. What a tragedy.
I love when he gets serious, not Lupin face. I love it so much. Lupin?
Do I mean? I was talking nonsense.
He was like, he never got to understand the beauty. What a tragedy. She's like, Lupin?
Nothing!
This would be a great scene to redo with the voice actor. I just want to see how it is. Like when he's like, he's never seen the... He'll never understand the beauty. That's not the Lupin voice. I've lost it. Whatever. Our minds were both thoroughly filled with new facts and findings, and as we couldn't bear to fit in any more, we said our goodbyes and retired for the evening. I felt we'd become close after our letters and time spent together. And look at me. I didn't know anything about him. The places he's lived in, the things he's seen, or the horrors he's endured. My body grew heavier as I walked down the academy corridor. I'd become increasingly uncomfortable with my ignorance. Each piece of his history I'd uncovered pressed upon my unconscious mind, and the more conscious I became, the more powerless I knew I'd been all along. What can I do for him? Is there anything at all? I couldn't dismiss the gloom building within me. Oh! Yet by God's grace, I managed to wander to the one place that would give me some solace. I thought of when we were sitting together and the way he moved clumsily just so I could be next to him. Jack and I have been exchanging our letters here ever since we met. The courtyard was beautiful to me, though less so without him there. Oh, that's so precious. And he wouldn't be there now, but there might be a letter stuck in the limbs of the trees. What made me choose to walk through it then? Day gave way slowly to evening, and evening to the still of night. The courtyard made no sound, and so the grass crunched even with my soft steps. I stopped at the tree Jack was always sleeping under. I knew he wouldn't be here. Why would he be? Or why would he? Indeed, why? Nobody was there. I knew that full well the moment I approached. My chest began to tighten not with gloom, but with another sort of ill desperation entirely. Of course there isn't. I placed my hand along the bark. Coarse as it was pleasant to the touch. The texture reminded me of Jack. That's so funny. The coarse texture of the bark reminds me of Jack. He's so coarse. He kind of is, but I took what we had for granted, giving him letters, my smiles when he responded, our sitting together, our idle chats. This is so, like, sad, but kind of funny. You're like, wow, she is in love with him. So I feel like she's in love with him so much faster than everybody else. Like, everybody else, it's like, you know what I mean? This is like straight on down. I don't know. They were all I wanted. Jack. Nothing came of whispering his name. No one was there to give me a smile. No one was there to respond. I was still alone. I want to believe in you, Jack. But I don't know anything about you. What meaning was there in this time we spent? The more the questions surfaced, the further away the answers seemed. And they caught in my throat, and I bit my lip and swallowed to stop any fruitless quivering. I don't like this. I don't want to sit here behaving as a piteous coward, living my nights in fear. It's the last thing I want. Oh, Jack, where have you gone? Suppressing the urge to cry, I reached for a letter sheet from my bag. I'm pressing the button! Anyway, Colonel Moran. Oh. Talking to Jack, and it's sad. See, this is where I thought Colonel Moran was acting as his dad, but maybe he's just in charge of his dad. I don't know. You know what I mean? Who knows? Remember, I can't remember for Watson's Path. I thought that's what the feeling I got, but maybe I'm misremembering? I don't know. Anyway, we'll find out. And so ends your brief yet blissful life as a student. You must already miss it. No, not at all. I can't do his voice right now. Fuck. Anyway. What came of it? Did you make any friends? Did you enjoy your lessons? They weren't no matter. All I did was fulfill my mission. Mission, you say? Now this is a surprise. I wasn't aware you knew what your mission was. Look how he's like the Mad fucking Hatter. That's probably why I like him a little more. I love the Mad Hatter. We need like an actual. I mean, we kind of Oz Mafia is like an Alice in Wonderland semi-themed kind of a Tome, but we can't play that because they won't let you record and upload gameplay, despite the fact that the game's like 3 fucking years old. Get over it. It's frustrating because I've never finished it because I can't upload it. So it's like, well, what the fuck's the point of playing it? This is why I play these games, so I can share them with you. If I can't, then it sucks and I don't play them. So I never got that far. I never finished it. It's disappointing. But anyway, Colonel Moran eyed Jack as a predator would its prey as it backed it into a corner. Well, speak up. Why were you sent to the academy? Yes, sir. It was to observe the actions of Errington Academy, seeing as it as connections to Her Majesty and the police. Just as well, I was to gain a full understanding of its current student body and graduates. My, you're absolutely correct. I'm very pleased. Thank you, sir. I shall reiterate, Jack. I sent you there not so you could run amok with friends, nor so you could become a detective in the spirit of Sherlock Holmes. I wish to supply Holmes the devil's fury and revenge. No doubt his son is dear to him. I've paid special attention to the company Holmes keeps to that end. I hope my reports have been satisfactory. Oh, Jack. Jack, why you break my heart like this? Don't hurt our friends. I've found them a delight, even. I couldn't ask for a finer son. So loyal, so intelligent, so brave. Okay, so he was. So, I wasn't okay. So is Colonel Moran pretending to be Henry Miller's? I guess what I'm getting. I guess I don't know. Anyway, though you would do well to remember to stay beneath my boot. Poor Jack. The air surrounding Jack contracted and bound him. So tight was the pressure that he thought it would soon sink into his flesh. Does Colonel Moran magic? He was acquainted with the sensation. In contrast to the burn, the chill of sweat pulled at his spine and spread across his back, so that he felt every muscle stand at attention. The colonel was livid. The reason was no secret to Jack. The organization had rules, and he chose to break one. He knew this information would eventually come to light. It always did. But he hadn't thought it would be so soon. But what if he were wrong? It was entirely possible that his guilt led him to the wrong conclusion. Something else could have provoked Colonel Moran. A number of things could have done it. Any number. That was a shameful failure on your part, you know. I still feel as though I were told some jest. A little girl catching you in the midst of murder. What's this? Did you think I wouldn't know? You aren't the only dog I have lapping from my palm. God, he's such a fucking twat. I kind of love how evil he is. You're like, I hate you so much. You're like Dolores Umbridge. Just want to strangle you. Don't be mean to him. That's what makes him a good villain. That's what makes a good villain, is when you're like, God, you make me so angry. I hope someone pokes you in the eyes. You just want to jump in the game or the book and just strangle. Ah! Why are you such a jerk? It's great. Anyway, there's no such thing as keeping a secret from me. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Forgive me. I shouldn't have been so careless. Look at how sad he looks. Aw. You've done away with countless traitors to date. Were you to ever be seen in the act of murder, you were to dispose the witness in tandem. You should be well aware of this. I am. Are you? How peculiar. Then what should you have done when you were seen by Spacey Whitley, the detective with a ring from Her Majesty? You should have killed her, taken her by the throat, and strangled her till she breathed her last. Would that not be the assumption for one in your position? One must ponder, then, why you allowed her to run free. The act itself is unforgivable. It's a betrayal to not only me, but the organization. But could you not go through with it? Has she become a dear friend to you? No response. I never imagined the day would come when you chose to protect a girl from me. Well, I mean, I think everyone should protect women from you, because you're murdery, evil, and probably rapey for all we know. I mean, I'm just saying, you just keep getting more and more douchey. I'm just saying that's probably like the last straw on the douche cake. That's the last bit of icing on the douche cake, is you being rapey. Like, you're gonna protect her from me. I'll show you. Ah, no, please don't. Please don't. Could you just be a little less douchey? Little less frosting on the douche cake is fine. We still don't like you. It doesn't matter what you do. Well, I still hate you. You still suck. Please don't make it worse. Come on, I'm just saying. Seriously.
Well, fear not. You are my child, and I'm not a man without compassion.
I'm gonna have to. I don't believe that. I don't believe you know what the word means. I don't think that word means what you think it means. Just I don't. You're throwing around words. And you don't. You just no.
I found you, an orphan, slaving away at a slaughterhouse.
Henry Miller's, I'm using air quotes, is totally a fake name that Colonel Moran uses to adopt orphans and send them to work for Spellbound. Yeah, it's really feeling Book of Circusy right now. Anyway,
I noticed you, a boy of vast potential, skinning rabbits as if in a trance. I saved you, a husk of bone, gave you food,
cloth, clothes, not cloth.
I gave you cloth.
It's not the same as here's a scrap of cloth. It's not the same as clothing, but I know that's what they meant anyway.
Shelter and education. You were raised as my own. And so it's time you proved your worth. You have until Sunday.
Jack nodded.
No one else happened to see you, did they? No, only her. Of course it was. Very well then. It's a lesson learned for me as well, I suppose. I expect your senses to remain sharp, but even you grow tender if you bask in the warmth of the outside world long enough. I don't want to toss you aside. Remember, the clock is ticking. With every second you fritter away, the situation becomes worse. You must rectify the problem with all due haste.
He's telling him to kill me.
Yes, sir.
Jack said only what was proper, but he could not accept it. Kill Spacey Whitley? Could he do that? No. Bad ending? Yes. Good ending? No. His mind ebbed in painful waves, like that of ripples from a pebble dropped in water. I like that the fact that there's just an ill-fated ending where they disappear and your heart's broken, but there's no bad endings. But this would have been the perfect one where they're like, a bad ending is where if you don't have your relationship up enough and then you're in Jack's path, then he murders your ass. He straight up kills you, and you're like, please don't. And he's like, I don't have a choice. Kills you, and you're like, the fuck? I mean, some missed opportunities for bad endings here, you know? Lupin, you go falling off the cliff, and he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going. You die in a pit as he runs away and gets away with it. Son of a bitch! Instead of coming to save your ass. There's so many missed opportunities for really bad endings. Just saying. At least one, you know, in each path, like this. He murders you. Oh, fuck.
Spacey Whitley, what if I...
He's gonna try. He's gonna come in and try to kill us, but we're gonna look at him with our giant fucking eyes, and he's gonna kill us because they're creepy as shit. But now cozily in my bedroom after night and long draped the sky, I gathered my notes on the East End murders to read through once more. I had a healthy amount to review, both the facts and articles I had copied by hand, as well as newspaper clippings from each morning made for plenty. Workhouses are homes for the homeless. And they're built by the state to provide salvation to the truly needy in society, including those who have grown weak from sickness, injury, or alcoholism. To be accepted into one, an official application is required. Should you be accepted and can endure working under the strict eye of its staff, you may be permitted food and medicine together with a place to live and sleep. The work itself, however, is exceptionally difficult, and the food is barely enough to stave hunger, leading some to question whether they can be seen as salvation. I soon found my eyes were growing tired from all there was to absorb. Jack did mention that his life was one of poverty, as well as that it was one working under watch. Perhaps he really has lived in a workhouse. I need to study the Ripper case a bit more tonight, too, if I'm able. Next, I reached for the notebook of my collected newspaper clippings. Drat, my pitcher is empty. I wanted another drink before bed. As I stepped out of my room to fill the pitcher myself, I ran into Pendleton.
My lady, is something the matter? I hadn't expected you would still be awake.
Nothing's wrong. I was just reading some excerpts from the paper.
Were you now?
You haven't perchance been reading the ones related to the Ripper case, have you?
I'm sorry, but that's exactly it. It's been those and past articles featuring similar cases from the East End and its surrounding areas.
Unbelievable! Just love being overdramatic with Pendleton. I thought I told you to stay away from that case.
You did, and I haven't been near the East End since. Here, this is an article about workhouses there. There are national welfare and work facilities that provide food and a place to sleep for their inhabitants.
She's just carrying them with her. I went to get water in my pitcher, but I'm carrying all my newspaper articles with me, just in case Pendleton asks me what the fuck I'm doing.
But see here, their conditions are so harsh, and their work is such that many die from exhaustion or illness.
I've heard such things, yes. However, the East End is stretched to its limits, and people who have no work, no family, and no means by which to live. If not for the workhouses, there'd be even more dying of starvation than there already is.
I understand that, certainly. With this in mind, may I ask a favor of you? Would it be difficult to retrieve a list of all the people who have entered one?
Why?
I should like to know if either of these two names are registered. I handed Pendleton a small scrap of paper.
Jack Miller's and Henry Miller's. They'd like me to look into these.
If Pendleton happened to find them on my behalf, then I'd finally have a roundabout way of seeing if Jack was safe. Please do, and don't tell anyone that you are. Not Scotland Yard, not Holmes, and none of the other servants.
Very well. But may I ask where you found the name Henry Miller's?
Well, Jack Miller's is a schoolmate of mine. And Henry Miller's is the name of the man who adopted him after he was orphaned. Do you recognize the name?
I believe I do. If it's the man I'm thinking of, I digress. I'll look into it presently.
He's like, it's fucking Colonel Moran! He knows. He's like, if it's who I'm thinking of, it's the Colonel Moran who you saw in the alley, and then Jack was the one that we took in the and he's you're fucked, honey. I'm gonna leave now.
Thank you. Pendleton won't be here when Jack comes in to murder you, because otherwise Pendleton would dispatch of him very quickly. I'm just saying. I do feel the need to mention, however, that this comes as a bit too close to the case for my comfort. This comes a bit too close to the case for my comfort. So what the fuck is going on with this alcove here? There's like a chair in front of it, and there's like a doorway. Is this like the fucking entrance to the Pendleton cave? That's like the Bat Cave where he keeps all of his fucking shit. Like I just noticed it now, and it's like there's a chair in front of it. Like nobody can see that there's a doorway here, and you're like, but I bet if I go in there, there's stairs that lead down to Pendleton's secret lair. That's all I'm saying. It's the fucking Pendleton cave. Anyway. I beg that you stay further away and leave the rest to the yard.
All right. This comes too close. I'm reading papers in my bedroom. I'm as far away as I can get without physically leaving the country. Northeast of the mansion sits Tower Bridge over the Thames. Tower of London, too. If one were to keep traveling in that direction, they would eventually reach the East End. We're so far apart now. I still have faith in you, Jack. I shan't tarry. I want to help you however I can. We won't be far apart for too long because he's going to come to kill you. So, he won't, but I'm just saying. I should have written so in my letter. I feel now as though I only put my immediate thoughts to paper. There was nothing more to do, and I had grown tired. All manner of useless ideas circling in mind, I climbed into bed and welcomed a peaceful sleep. Not a sound was to be heard at Harrington Academy. It's Jack. He's going to find she left him a little note in the tree. That's what I was wondering when she went out to the tree. I was like, are you going to leave him a little note thinking he'll come back and find it? Or did he leave you one? Because I'm like, that's so cute. Its grounds were coated in a typical winter night's frost. Cool colored shadows appeared only at the behest of the moon, and even the air was congested with a cold jaggedness that made every intake of breath sting like icicles piercing the lungs. The only movement came from a lone figure in the courtyard. The moon, in its benevolence, gave him a pretty silhouette of silver. I didn't think I'd come back here again. Jack stopped briefly to look down at his hands. Her white handkerchief was still neatly wrapped around his injury. Can I do it? Can I kill her? I have to do it myself, too. He looked up again, a large, familiar tree before him. Oh, he's coming there to have the same memories we had. It's adorable. Oh, this one hurts my heart. It's so cute. I don't know why.
It was a place he now associated with her. She'd always try hard as she did to approach me without knocking me up. But she couldn't hide her footsteps if she were flying. She's strange. You'd have to be to want to be that close to me. Just then he happened to see something small and white at the base of the tree. How did it not blow away? And this is her. After so many exchanges, he knew the envelope by sight. Timidly, Jack plucked the letter from the base and opened it. To you who will find this letter, I pray with all my heart that you'll return to class soon. It's all right if you don't have a letter for me. I'm still content if I don't receive a reply. All I want is to see you again. I want to sit here with you. That's all I keep wishing for. There isn't any rush to return the handkerchief. However long it takes, I'm happy to wait. The sender did not write their name at the bottom. She didn't need to. No one heard him. He sorely wished in that moment someone could. Oh. He's just like, I wish someone would hear me. I'm just out here all alone in the darkness. That's how he feels, and it's so poor thing. They make you feel so bad for a murderer, don't they? I mean, he was conditioned to do it, and we'll forgive him because, we've had worse in games, okay? Like, the East End of London kept to a hopeless ritual. Murder did make one uneasy, but that changed little for its inhabitants. A prostitute was a creature of habit, be the client a murderer or a saint, so long as he had the coin. And one such woman, who was stepping into a terraced house in Whitechapel's Hanbury Street, was now to a point where she may well have considered betting a murderer for scraps. Poor fucking thing. This ain't been my day. Not a bloomin' thing to eat since I rose with the sun. Oh, she gonna die. Before she could close the door or conclude her bitter mutterings, she felt someone reach from behind and cover her mouth. She resisted, but there was little point. Not Jack, someone else. Her assailant had cut a perfect line from her left ear to her right. This is a little too close to the murder that we've been. Those mutterings would be her last, for he had robbed her of the ability to scream, although this is also very reminiscent of the first season of Black Butler when they were literally going after Jack the Ripper. Like, I mean, not really, the workhouse thing and everything was making me think of Book of Circus, because that's always in my mind, because I love Book of Circus, it's my favorite. But then again, this is very reminiscent of the first season, so, like, this whole path is so Black Butler, it's not even funny. Like, as she smacked against the ground, her assailant dived over her body in a hungry motion, the blade hacking into her with mad elegance to cut through stubborn flesh and spine. Ugh! Jesus! This is definitely not Jack. I mean, quick and done, and he leaves. This guy is psycho. But then, quite curiously, they stopped. They spied a pretty handkerchief on her forearm and, appearing inspired, used it as a clumsy scarf to keep head and body as one. That was not to say violent pleasures were fully abstained. They drew a line from chest to abdomen, cracking through the sternum, just to satisfy their ears with the melody of broken bone, and dismissed with her intestines over her right shoulder before rummaging barehanded through organs and removing prized parts. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to gag. Oh, I have to laugh because this is so horrifying. Oh, I don't want to read this. I'm going to vomit. Oh, so gross. Her body was now more rosy than pale, and it did not take long for the handkerchief to change from ink-blotted to completely soaked. Ugh. The murderer suspected the pattern would have been considered fashionable by fellow rogue-lipped tarts, a final parting gift worth considering for the next one as well. Oh! Scotland Yard arrived on the scene when it was still a black night, but technically already the next day. Inspector Lestrade scrunched his face in disappointment as he saw the body. Like, this guy's escalating, because he went from, like, he murdered to now he's, like, to now, well, now he cut her throat, to then he cut her open, to now he's, like, literally ripping body parts, and you're like, he's escalating. Like, this is getting just, yeah, Christ is right. Christ, not another one. I don't know if that's his voice. I'm afraid so. It was too late by the time she was found. When was that? Supposedly not long after the great clock at Christ Church in, Spitalfields? Spitalfield? Is that Spitalfield? Spitalfield? That's Spitalfields just sounds gross. But anyway, chime 6. There were 2 brass rings along with a few farthings at her feet. I assume they belonged to the victim. Do you suppose the handkerchief was hers too? The one around her neck? Most likely. A perplexing step after slitting her throat and removing the organs. Ugh. No, he put that there after slitting her throat, but before removing her organs. You've got the steps wrong. Let me school you, Holmes, because I was here for it, and I don't want to be. I don't want to be here for it. They made me. It's the only thing preventing the complete decapitation of the head, as far as I can observe. It could be they wish to minimize blood splatter from the arteries. Blood would be an issue regardless, but the less evidence, the better. And fine work they did of that. Again, they've avoided leaving evidence that would incriminate them at the scene. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of evidence that if we had on hand now, if someone with the technology we have now could time travel and go back and test, except for, there's I'm sure there's DNA all over that fucking place. And all over her, and not just because she's a hooker. No, actually because she's a hooker. But I'm sure he left his DNA everywhere. You just don't have ways of testing it yet. Actually, wasn't it I thought it was wasn't it in this one? Was it in something where they did, and you're like, maybe I'm just imagining, in things that I've read or games that I've played where they, had these things, technology that they probably actually didn't have at the time, and now I'm like, when did they, felt like DNA evidencing, or was it fingerprinting or something? Well, fingerprinting is, but actually existed, long before you think it did. You're like, really? It seems like they shouldn't, but obviously not as good as we have it now, even though, we're still not perfect, but, I remember. Anyway, I'm just saying, technology now, we could go back in time, we could, solve all this shit. Be kind of interesting. But, not really. Time travel is a bad thing, because you'd fuck up everything. You're like, but if you go into the past, you're gonna fuck up the future, and then everything's gonna change, and don't fuck with my life like that. Unless you're gonna make it, way fucking better, but, But, what if you could go back in time as, a shadow, right? You're like, I could witness things. We could witness all of this. And, oh, this is the person who did it. And so you know the answers, but without changing the past. You're just a shadow. You cannot influence. Kind of with A Christmas Carol with Scrooge. He went back in time and he was witnessing all the shit in the past, right? But he couldn't touch it. He was just a shadow there. I can witness everything and I can see all the stuff that's happening to change my heart, but I can't interact and change the past. That's what we need. We need time travel like that. That'd be fucking amazing. I'm gonna take a trip, and we could be like, this is what happened. So we went back in time and we saw this is who Jack the Ripper really was. We saw it. We can't go back in time and change it and stop him, but this is what actually happened. So cool. Somebody would find a way to manipulate that and lie to us, but still, be kind of fucking interesting. That's the kind of time travel we need to invent. The kind where we can just go back and witness shit that happened, but not actually interact and change things. Cool. Anyway, so now that we've just turned this into a sci-fi dystopian thing, back to the past and the murdered horror. Okay. I propose this handkerchief was bound to that end as a means to avoid leading us to them. Do you concur? Something still strikes me as odd. And the more times the killer spends defiling the body, the greater the odds of being caught. He's losing his fucking marbles. They have never gone this far with previous victims. I know, right? And I had to read it. It's gross. Ah, yes, very true. But what if this was what they've always intended, and they merely ran out of time? What if this is some meeting to our killer? Enough that they would risk being caught. And they're stealing organs. Anybody looking for a uterus transplant? I just don't understand the stealing the organs. Why? You're like, I found a kidney. I'm going to sell it on the black market. And they'll be like, but we were missing a kidney from a body. And you, oh, okay. Like, that's not obvious. I mean, I guess if you're selling in the black market, it's shady, it's dark, and nobody's asking where you got a kidney. You're like, look, there's just some dude in a bathtub in a fucking hotel missing a kidney. That's all. It's fine. See, it's fine. It's fine. Not a dead prostitute missing a kidney. She's missing so much shit they're not even gonna know. But did they do organ transplants back then? I don't know. Like, so what was the point of the organs? Why would he be harvesting them? This is why we need the shadow time travel. Like, why? What was the purpose? We'd still never know, because it's not like you can pop back in people's heads, because that would be creepy. Anyway. Such as to set an example or to threaten someone? I'd say so. Or they simply kill for pleasure. This victim is another penniless prostitute. We can conclude money is no motivator. Both father and son's eyes went from observing the body outward to its surroundings, searching for clues. Bystanders who happened to be wandering the streets before waking hours noticed the police presence and gathered for a closer look. It's truly regrettable that even after having so many men patrol the area, we still weren't able to catch him. Regrettable, but time does not wait. I shall have to take another look at the patrol routes. I don't understand. Could this really be Jack's work? Is Jack the Ripper our Jack Millers? Could that man be capable of murdering in such an inhumane way? No. He's nicer about it. He just slits their throat. It's fine. This is someone else. I'm at a loss. The possibility still lingers, but... Listen, Holmes. You remember when we visited with Spacey, don't you? It wasn't that long ago, so yes, she went missing. When I first found her, she seemed particularly anxious. It felt as though she were hiding something from us. Watson, why didn't you say this earlier? Well, you know, she was going to such lengths to keep it hidden. Didn't feel right to tell anyone about it. And when I asked, she said nothing. I could have imagined it. And if I did, that would be nice. But if she happened to see something... We're not to allow her near this area again, however. Remember? Oh, I do. She'll be alright, so long as Pendleton and us are with her. And as long as she never comes here again. Oh, well, here we go. I'm off to sneak out. Go to the East End. I can handle it. No, you can't, Spacey. You think you can do these things, Spacey, but you can't. Ooh, new chapter. Do 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 do. Dear Boss. A letter like no other arrived at London's Central News Office. It was secured in an envelope postmarked East London and written in red ink. Its contents raised the hairs of all who read it. Dear Boss. I keep on hearing the police have caught me, but they won't fix me just yet. I've laughed when they look so clever and talk about being on the right track. I'm down on whores and I shan't quit ripping them till I do get buckled. How can they catch me now? I love my work and want to start again. I saved some of the proper red stuff in a ginger beer bottle over the last job to write with. Ah! But it went thick like glue and I can't use it. Oh, God. Red ink is fit enough, I hope. Ha ha. And the next job I do, I shall clip the lady's ears off and send to the police officers just for jolly. Wouldn't you? Wait, what? This makes... The old-timey slang is confusing. Keep this letter back till I do a bit more work, then give it out straight. My knife's so nice and sharp, I want to get to work right away if I can get a chance. Good luck. Yours truly, Jack the Ripper. Oh! 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 We can prove it's not Jack. We can be like, all right, if that's Jack the Ripper, here's Jack's handwriting. It's not the same fucking person's handwriting. We have letters from him. We have proof it's not him. Bam! Spacey's a genius. Let's hope our Spacey's not that stupid and she figures this out. Anyway, P.S. Wasn't good enough to post this before I got all the red ink off my hands. Curse it. No luck yet. They say I'm a doctor now. Ha ha. Lol. If you think about it, haha, he literally lolled on the fucking letters. Don't give me lol, you sick bastard. Just wanted to say that. Sorry. Inspector Lestrade poked at Ryan's head. Ow! They're not my words! All I did was read the Ripper's letter! Just what is he thinking? Inspector Lestrade scowled as he'd done often lately. So often, in fact, that it was to be certain new recruits thought the expression his natural one. Inspector, I'm of the opinion that it was not the Ripper who wrote this. It was likely the work of someone who thought it would be a laugh to do so. And don't take this nonsense seriously or you'll throw the entire investigation into confusion. And when a lady's ears show up... Holmes. Shh. Because it's not Jack, and that was going to be our proof that it wasn't Jack, and now you're saying that now we don't have any proof. Other than our hopes and dreams and beliefs. Anyway. Even if it were legitimate, the time spent analyzing it would just give him more time to kill. Oh, we felt much the same, my good man, till we read the rest. Oh, was there more? Well, an entire second page's worth. Read it for me. I don't know how to read. Too handsome. Flips hair back. Right away, sir. Actually, he's more like, read it for me. I don't have time to do reading for myself. I need to brush my hair aside and smoke my pipe. Play my violin. Be handsome. I love Sherlock Holmes. He's one of the few adults that I love in this. I mean, the other ones are fine. There's nothing wrong with any of the characters. But I love fucking Pendleton the best. But of all of the, like, too old for her, fucking Holmes is the best. I just love him. I don't know what it is. I'm so gallant. I know you are. I love it. I love Sherlock Holmes, though. I'm a huge Sherlock Holmes fan, so pretty much love him and everything. Anyway. P.S. Silly me. Wish I had the good ink for this one. I'm going to butcher that pretentious slut who fancies herself as the Queen's detective, Spacey Whitley. They're trying to make Jack look like Jack the Ripper, but it's not him. Colonel Moran is a fucking asshole. Because he told Jack, and then Jack will do it, and Jack will get arrested, and they'll be like, we have this letter right here, and they'll be like, but that's not, I didn't, and he's gonna go to jail for killing all the hookers, but it's not him that's doing it. I've only killed a couple of people, not any hookers. But I did kill Spacey because I was told to, but I mean, oh, Jack, oh no, they're trying to pin it all on you. The only way we're going to be able to prove his innocence is showing them the letters. Okay, now we're back. Anyway, once I'm done making a slaughterhouse of all the whores in the East End, I'm gonna get my jollies by killing off the next 1,500 pretty things I don't like. Oh, to see the face of Her Majesty after my next job. Even she'll go pale. I won't keep you waiting long. I wonder how many idiots who thought my games would stay in the East End will piss themselves then. Lol. It's old-timey lols. That's what he basically did, so. That's all there is. For a short while, no one said a word. I see. Well, that is interesting, but... Miss Whitley is a friend of your son's, isn't she? Indeed. She's a beloved young lady in general. But why write her name? Sherlock Holmes, who had been scrutinizing the letter since the conversation began, looked up with a puzzled frown. What should we do, Inspector? It's not impossible for this to be false. But with someone having been named, it's a bit difficult to stand or do nothing. What if she is being targeted next? And I am, kinda, sorta. True or false, we'll have some of our men guard the Whitley residence. Her duty as policeman is first and foremost to protect the good people of London. And she's as good as they come. I am! I'm like a little gumdrop forest. So much so that I give myself diabetes. Do you intend to take from those stationed in Whitechapel and move them south of the Thames? Yes, I might doubt of the letter's veracity, but I'm sure we all do. Still, I'd prioritize the preservation of human life over the capture of criminals. So long as the threat may be genuine, I want to protect her. You're a man of good character, Inspector. Decreasing police presence in Whitechapel does pose its risks, however, if I may point out. Were I Jack the Ripper, I would act knowing I had more freedom in my playground. Then what do you suggest? But here's the thing, if they catch Jack, pin all the Jack the Ripper crimes on him because of that letter, then the real Jack the Ripper can't go out and murder people. Because they'd be like, well, it's not Jack, obviously. Easiest way to get Jack off. Look, it's not, he didn't write, because here's his handwriting, and that's that handwriting. And also somebody else, just another hooker got murdered, so, while he was in jail, so you gotta let him go. got me lawyered. Like, anyway, half of the East End inhabitants are men. We should appeal for their help. Fine idea if it weren't so impossible. They're all scared down to their boots of Jack the Ripper. Plus, Jack the Ripper is one of them. Like, and most likely. And I'm just saying. Alone, yes. But any man may screw their courage up when the lives of their wives, daughters, or lovers are at stake. If we receive some assistance, it will better our chances when we send some of our own men to defend the Whitley residence. Well, I will try, but their criticism towards us grows worse each day. I dare say they'd sooner let us rot than lend us a hand. Well, they lend you a hand and hopefully stop someone from getting murdered, or they don't and someone else gets murdered. The fuck are your choices, assholes? And if you work in teams, then the Jack the Ripper is not gonna be one of the volunteers. Although, what if we... Oh, this is why we get this from CSI and everything, where they're like, you know what? Oh, we're combing a murder scene. Look at the people who volunteered, because it's probably one of those people, because they like to show up and see their own work. So Jack the Ripper would volunteer to help. That's all I'm saying. Learn this from... See, if you guys watched a little more crime TV, you'd learn these things, and it probably would have been easier. Just kidding. Then they should sooner learn that at the end of the day, we all must look after ourselves. I read that totally wrong, but anyway. Inspector Lestrade looked out into the city with sadness. London's streets had lost their color since the Ripper murders began. I'm pretty sure the East End was always gray, bleak, and dark, but anyway. And that had become especially pronounced in Whitechapel. He much preferred something more of a bustle. Pardon me, Inspector. Would your staff be able to produce a photograph of the letter for my reference? That isn't a problem. But whatever do you need one for? Oh, I just wanted to do a bit of thinking on my end. Sherlock Holmes did not have to wait long for the negatives to produce a copy for him, whereupon he carefully placed it in his breast pocket. He then returned his eyes to the map with markings for each murder on the wall. Oh. Southwest London at the Whitley residence. Actually, we're getting close to time. I'm going to stop it here before we get too far into it, and it's like 20 minutes. Again, it could be like a 2-minute scene where we get a nice break, but this is a good place to pause, so let's stop a little early, and we'll get on to the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.